Welcome to the AA show. This is episode 8, right? We're at episode 8. And, one of the things I'm very passionate about, or one of the hobbies that I do, I call it a hobby, is, I learned this sort of during the pandemic period. I think, it's part of me finding time to relax and, just ponder on. It slows down time for me. And what I'm trying to say here is about this. This is CIGAR. So I'm going to talk about, me and my friend here are going to talk about cigars and everything. Maybe for beginners, siguro, no? Siguro for beginners, we want to share more. Because I didn't know much about cigars back then, but my business partners were always giving me cigars and letting me try different cigars. I had no idea what I was doing back then, but it's something that we do for pastime. But we want to remove some sort of some myths, some beliefs that about that cigars are just for rich people and stuff like those. It's not. No, we want to change that connotation and maybe convince you that it's not something for higher classes. I don't know what's the term for that. Parang, is there a term for something for show or it's not oligarch? Ano bang term? For elite, mga elitista? No, hindi naman eh. So, I'm here with my good friend from high school who owns a cigar shop and a humidor shop called Humidor Manila. I've had him before in my episode, but he didn't want to be there in the episode back then about branding. But my friend Lem Junicio is here, and I wanted to bring him in because he knows a lot more about cigars. I mean, if you have a cigar shop, would it make sense that you know a lot more about cigars, right? So, I wanted to ask kasi just the basics of why people are into cigars. Like, I'm not gonna say a niche or something, but why are people getting into cigars more and more? It's like it's like a lifestyle. Bakit, what do you think?
Well, I think it's siguro yung mga new cigar smokers.
Right.
They're bored. They especially now dahil nasa pandemic pa.
Like me, yeah.
Yeah. So they're looking for something na pwedeng isabay sa whiskey dahil since sawa na sila uminom ng beer tsaka whiskey lang.
Right.
Diba? Something to pair it with.
Parang minention mo sa akin before, parang huwag kang maniwala doon sa mga sasabihin nila na ito dapat sa whiskey, ito dapat kailangan juice, ito dapat kape ang
just
bagay.
do what works for you. Parang
right.
ganun yung sinabi.
If you go and research online on social media or in Google or in YouTube, they'd say na, this cigar is perfect for this kind of pairing and such. And then when you try it, parang hindi ko naman trip. Diba? And
parang parang meron kasing pairing suggestions din.
Okay, so we'll talk more about that, why like certain cigars are good with coffee, certain cigars are good with juice or wine,
juice, yeah.
and sometimes just even water, right? So, and what are the different kinds of cigars, the difference in that. But first thing I want to know or I want to share with people is what's the basic do's and don'ts when you're starting out with lighting, for example, a cigar. The first thing. Let's start with something very basic.
So, paano? How to cut a cigar?
Maybe, we'll start off cigar itself, when you're lighting the cigar, for me, it's also part of the process.
Siguro the best do's and don'ts. Siguro pag bibili ka ng cigar, let's say pupunta ka sa humidor.
Yeah. Okay, so if I'm a newbie and I'm going to your cigar shop here in 11 Brixton, if I'm going to Humidor Manila, what's the one thing I want to ask, you guys about cigars? What's the most important thing? Like when I'm just gonna try it out. Like for
okay.
Usually, for example, if I'm a smoker, like a cigarette smoker or a vapor, and I want to move to cigar.
Parang usually, what the new customers, new cigar smokers ask me, bago lang ako nagsisigar. Gusto ko yung mild lang.
Mild lang. Para hindi masakit sa lalamunan. Something like that, yeah.
Pero parang sa tingin ko kasi, basing from experience, hindi naman lahat mag-aano sa mild lang eh. Marirealize sila habang nagsisigar
Yeah, yeah.
sila na, ay, hindi pala ako sa mild. Dito pala ako sa medium.
Medium.
Medium to full.
O full.
So, medium to full meaning strength yon. Strength
Yeah,
and yung
Right.
boldness eh.
Parang cigarette, no? Like,
So
there's
yung strength
lights.
niya, strength level niya, yun yung nicotine level niya.
Right.
Tapos meron din nung boldness niya. Boldness meaning yung mouthfeel ng smoke.
Oo.
So pag bold siya, mausok, mas mausok siya.
Right. Because for those that don't know, cigar smoking is different from cigarette smoking. Just because you don't inhale it. Right? So, unlike smoking a cigarette, when you inhale it, it goes straight to your lungs.
Your
This
lungs,
one,
mouth lang.
it's just mouthfeel. So, I mean, don't ever try smoking a cigar and making it go straight to your lungs. I mean, that's really bad. But the thing is, it just stays in your mouth. So you're after the flavor of it.
Yes.
So what are flavors that you're supposed to hit pag nag-smoke ka ng cigar?
One thing na misconception
Mhm.
is like yesterday,
Mhm.
may umorder sa akin. So, tumawag yung assistant. Sabi, so ako yung sumagot. Do you have Davidoff Escurio? Sabi ko, yes, we have. Then, nag-send siya ng pictures. Sabi ko, yes, exactly the same. So, I sent them kasi sa shop, meron kaming mga tasting notes and suggested pairings.
Yeah.
Kasi yun yung mga frequently asked questions eh. So, nag-send ako. Sa middle, nakasulat doon, hints of chocolate.
Okay, hints of chocolate.
So, pinadala ka yung cigar. So, sinusmoke na nila. Sir, nagrereklamo tong boss ko, bakit walang lasang chocolate? So, natawa ako. Sabi ko,
Is
kasi...
it his first time? First time niya?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Siguro bago lang.
Bago
I
lang.
assume bago lang.
Yeah.
Kasi, hindi mo naman talaga malalasahan as chocolate.
Right. Oh.
Hints lang. Parang, siguro may hints lang na konti na chocolate. Pero hindi yung parang, parang kumain ka ng chocolate. Hindi
parang
ganun.
Hershey's.
Flavored na yun.
Flavored, oo.
Iba yun.
Yeah. Okay.
Infused na yun.
Okay. So, you feel sometimes something dark, dark
Yes.
roasted.
Hints lang. Very hints. May
Okay.
maaalala ka lang na, tastes like
Okay.
ganun.
So those are what flavors do you think would a person taste should taste in a cigar?
Well, merong hints of citrus. May parang
Citrus. Okay.
sour sa
Sour
dulo.
notes. Okay.
Sour notes. Meron din chocolate.
Okay.
Yung leather notes, parang naamoy mo siya na parang leather. Eh.
Really?
Meron,
Oo.
con hints lang. Don't take it literally.
Okay. All right. So when you open a cigar, okay, example, this is it. Like, okay, what's the first thing you do when you hold your cigar?
So, first thing you do, before you smoke a cigar, you have to cut it.
Okay. Let's go with cutting one, like yung last call. Like, you want to make an example.
Sige.
So the things that you need when you're smoking a cigar is a torch lighter, preferably,
Yeah,
no?
Preferably.
Not, bakit hindi, yung normal na light, for example,
Kasi
cricket?
meron siyang fluid eh. Umaamoy yun dun sa...
So, papangit yung lasa.
Papangit
Oo.
yung...
Compared to a torch, wala kang
Oo,
makukuha.
kasi butane siya eh. Dapat butane.
Butane, okay. Butane torch. Not
Kahit
a
hindi torch,
lighter.
may soft flame din naman na butane eh. Basta butane siya.
Okay. Some people use a matchstick pa rin. Is that okay?
Yeah, okay
lang din?
Cedar. They use cedar strips.
Cedar strips, okay.
Yun naman cedar strips. Yun yung sa mga cigar boxes.
Right.
Tapos kinakat nila.
Okay, so that's your cigar. So, a cutter,
Okay.
you should have a nice cutter. May two kinds no?
Three. There are three kinds of
okay. Cutters.
cutters you can use.
That one is?
This one is a guillotine cutter.
Okay.
Or straight cutter.
Straight cutter. So, yan bilog talaga.
So yan.
Oo.
Guillotine siya.
Okay.
Tapos meron naman nung
Ha? Ayan.
Meron naman nung yan yung guillotine or straight cutter.
Okay.
Tapos meron din nung V, hindi ko lang dali.
So, kaya guillotine siya kasi if you put your head inside it, cut, di ba?
Right.
Solid to. This is probably how much? Mahal to
Mura lang.
Mura lang yan. You can check out their website, humidormanila.com, if you wanna check those out.
Okay, tapos meron
Meron
V
yung
cutter,
V-cutter,
parang
yun yung
sa'yo.
favorite ko.
Oo.
That's what I use. Because
So,
I like the parang, you know,
may V siya.
Parang V yung cut.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, there's a puncher.
Ah,
Yung
yeah,
iba
yung
kasi gusto
puncher.
nila,
Oo.
yung hindi nasisira yung sides nung...
So if this the end, binubutas lang yung gitna na parang malaking syringe.
Parang
Diba?
ganun. Parang may bilog lang siya sa gitna. Hindi
But-
nasisira yung sides.
Okay, when you use the guillotine cutter, you don't cut yung whole part of it, right? Just the smallest, if you can.
Kasi lahat ng cigars may line yan eh.
Yeah.
Yung
so
may
there's a line.
shoulder yan. So, just before it curves,
Oo.
dun mo ikakat.
Right.
Above nun. Above the line.
Right. Doon lang. Kasi if you cut more than that, nakukuha niya na kasi yung cigar mismo itself eh.
Oo, may wrapper kasi siya eh.
Tapos yun yung magtutuklap habang
Ayun.
when you were smoking it, so nakadikit yan sa labi mo, maghihiwalay-hiwalay siya. So you don't want that kasi medyo, yun yung dudura ka ng dudura kasi may mga bits and pieces na didikit
At saka
sa
mag-unravel
labi mo.
yung cigar.
Tapos
Sayang.
mag-unwrap yan. So isipin mo 30 minutes into smoking an expensive cigar, nagtutuklap siya, pangit siya tignan.
Sayang yung experience.
It's not like, you know, if you're a cigarette smoker, you know, you could smoke a cigarette for 5 minutes na nakatayo, di mo, yossi break, lunch break, ganun, di ba? Mabilis lang. This, you have to sit down. For me, I think it is something you need to sit down comfortably, relaxed, wala kayong tipong
Wala kang iniisip, hindi ka busy.
Hindi kayong parang nag-check ng email mo, kaya may ginagawa sa phone mo or ano. It's just you're clearing your mind. It's partly like meditating.
Right.
Kasi you pair it with something, you know, to eat or to munch on, and then you have a drink where you're set. Kasi you have to sit down comfortably. Kumbaga, wherever you're comfortable, tapos less distraction because you're trying nga to relax. So, when you light a cigar with a torch, how do you light it naman?
First, before lighting it fully, kailangan mo, hindi naman kailangan, pero usually, ginagawa nila,
Inikot.
tino-toast muna.
Okay, you call it toasting.
Toasting.
Okay.
So,
for example, this is the
means
flame.
just
Okay.
simply, papaitimin mo lang yung, yung
para
foot.
magpantay siya. Okay.
Oo.
And then,
Yung foot ng cigar. Tapos, after mo ma-toast, doon mo siya ilalight.
may iba, kanyari ako ang ginagawa ko, when I light it paikot, so magpapantay siya, I blow out first the first one, just for, you know, yung mga lumabas. Tapos,
Pwede
the
naman.
second one is the one
Basta kailangan mo na siya i-puff.
I puff in.
I-puff
Okay.
in.
Oo.
Pero don't inhale.
Don't inhale it, okay? Guys, mas mataas ang nicotine content ng...
Siguro isang yan hawak ko na cigar, 1 pack of cigarettes na yung
Right.
nicotine content.
Nicotine content. So, there's no filter. Okay? So, you don't put a filter in cigars because it doesn't go straight to your lungs nga. So, you're just after the flavor of it. So, parang in Tagalog, hit buga. Diba? Hit buga lang siya. It doesn't go...
Parang lalasahan mo lang.
Lalasahan mo
flavors.
lang siya. Okay. So, you light it up. So, when you light it up with the torch, sisindihan eh. Di ba? And medyo parang apoy ng konti because you're blowing it in. Kumaga, you're puffing it inside. And then, you know, I blow it in mga 3 times. Tapos, you know.
Tapos just make sure na talaga yung all red na yung
Yeah.
yung buong surface. Para pantay yung pag-burn niya.
Yeah. Usually people hold it downwards like this para mag-burn siya na pag kasi pag nakaganyan, namamatay siya eh. If you hold the cigar like this, hindi siya parang cigarette. Cigarette nauubos pa rin kahit ganyan eh.
Depende naman. Basta tama lang yung pag-light mo. Kahit anong angle ng hawak.
So okay lang siya na
Okay lang.
Minsan namamatay yung cigar eh, di ba? Minsan kanyari,
Kaya namamatay yung cigar, usually yan, yung causes nun, either over-humidified or over-humidified.
We'll talk
or
about-
hindi maganda yung pag-light mo.
storing humidifying later a cigar. But okay. So you're in your cigar, and is there like an average time that you would say that, for example, you would puff? Is it like 1 per minute perhaps? Or 1 every 30, 45 seconds?
Yung sinasuggest nila, which I agree.
Oo.
Mga 1 minute interval.
1 minute. 1 minute interval,
Kasi ang
okay.
sabi nga nila, kailangan you have to keep your
Burning.
you have to keep your cigar cool.
Cool.
Meaning, dapat hindi galit na galit yung
Hindi
apoy.
namumula, di ba?
Kasi medyo tendency nun,
Mabilis.
pasunod-sunod, di mainit yung cigar.
Pangit yung burn.
Papait.
Tsaka parang pansin ko, parang mas burnt yung isang side, yung isa hindi pa sunog. Hindi siya pantay. What's a courtesy, kunyari makapal na yung ano mo, yung abo mo. Is there a certain courtesy? Like, for example, us two, we're smoking this cigar. Is there anything about courtesy on, pag nalaglag yung abo or ano? Hindi ba siya parang Yossi? Di ba Yossi tinataktak kasi?
Hindi
siya
minsan
advisable,
kasi sumasama yung cherry eh.
Okay. What is the cherry?
Yung cherry, yung pinaka-ball nung...
Okay. Yung namumula. Okay. So,
Pagka tinataktak mo yun, pwedeng mahulog yun. Pag nahulog yun...
So, you let it off, let it fall down normally?
Siguro tira ka lang ng
So,
one...
for example, you're smoking it and then it falls down.
Siguro better way instead na taktakin mo. Ano mo lang, ganun mo lang. Hanggang sa mahulog siya.
Okay. Kaya mo siya
Lightly lang.
mahulog. Okay.
Lightly lang.
And then...
Tapos pag namatay yung cigar, before mo sindihan ulit, take out the ashes muna. Scrape off mo yung ashes, saka mo uli ilight.
Okay. Kunyari, nakangalahati na ako. If I don't wanna finish it, what do I do? If I wanna smoke it for later?
Sayang eh. Ako, I don't recommend na hindi ubusin eh. But most of my clients, hindi rin nila inaubos. Minsan may kailangan silang gawin.
Yeah. O paano pag
Kaya gusto nila, usually, ang binibili nila yung, Lem, gusto ko pang 30 minutes lang. Or pang 45 minutes
parang
lang.
Ako 30 minutes,
hanggang 4 o'clock lang ako. Gusto ko yung cigar na ganun.
Okay.
Kasi, nasasayang yung whole experience eh. Kasi yung mga premium cigars, may 3 parts yan. So may nagta-transition siya.
Nag-iba yung lasa eh, no?
So
From
may
start to
first
finish.
third, second third,
Right.
saka finish. Yung last third.
Okay. Yung iba, they really enjoy when it's like about here already. Nasa dulo na. Kaya iba parang nakastick na, di ba?
Usually yan sa second, third, start ng second, third, doon na umuokay.
So, when it's in the last, do you put out the fire? No, di ba?
No, you just leave it sa...
Because the smell is really
ashtray.
strong when you put, it's not like a cigarette na papatay mo yung upos ba? Tama ba?
Oo.
So, eto hindi. You leave it like there. Leave
Iwan
it
mo
like
lang.
that.
Kasi
Patong mo lang.
mamamatay naman yun.
Patong mo sa ashtray, leave it there, and then let it die on its own.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So that's common courtesy, I think, when you're smoking a cigar.
At saka when you're buying kahit saan na humidor, don't hold unless you're buying it,
Right. Don't hold it yet.
don't hold the cigar, especially pag walang cellophane. Ito,
Why,
cellophane ito.
why is it so sensitive? Pwede
Kasi
matuklap?
syempre, germs nung kamay mo,
Oo.
pwedeng ma-damage yung cigar.
Especially now.
Tapos yung iba pa, dinidikit pa sa ilong nila. Di ba? Pag nangyayari yun, wala na. Tapon ko na.
Okay. So if you touch it, if you go to a humidor shop or a cigar shop, if you touch it, you're gonna have to buy it. Right? Just common...
Courtesy lang dun
Courtesy lang. So if you're gonna hold it, make sure that you're gonna buy it and don't smell it.
Kasi you will be given naman the complete details. Kami sa shop, binibigyan na namin lahat ng details eh. Lahat ng literature dyan.
Okay. Okay, let's talk about naman storing your cigars. If you have a collection of cigars, like I have small case for some of my cigar collections.
Nice.
Wala lang yung battery.
Carbon fiber. Yan.
Pero this one holds about, I think, 30 big size cigars and separate siya. And why do you have to keep it at 60% to 70% humidity and some 65 ganun? Why is that so? What's the humidity supposed to be at 60 to 70?
Yun yung optimum humidity ng cigars to be fresh.
Okay. 'Di ba Adrian said parang one of the biggest flex you can make with a cigar is owning 20-year-old, 30-year-old cigars na aged na nasa iyo. Tapos it's perfectly,
usually yung mga ini-age, mga Cuban cigars.
20 to 30 years, tapos it's stored at 60 to 70 constant. Regardless kung Pasko or summer,
kasi
it's constant.
dun mo may age ng maayos yung tobacco.
So, there are a lot of collectors like those, diba?
Yeah.
Maraming ganong klase.
Surprisingly.
And we don't know about it. They're not on social media and stuff. So these are things that really are done by people who are into these types of collection, and mapawaw ka talaga with their collections. Like
Ako na
millions.
yung napapawaw.
Millions talagang worth, no? Because it's not just the cigars worth, but the time spent aging it. Like wine. Parang wine, di ba? Mga wine and whiskey collectors, they have wine collections from 90s, 80s pa, right?
Mga vintage.
Yeah. I mean, it's like watches. So, someone that has a cigar collection na dating back to 90s, 80s, mapawaw ka talaga. So, they start, because you're really a humidor shop, di ba? Primarily humidor shop. It just so happens that you also sell cigars at the same time. So, talk about yung parang different types of humidors that you have. Yung pinakamalaki, parang ref.
The humidors we have, let's start from the big one?
Yeah, let's start from the big ones. Big ones muna. The one you have in your shop.
So what we have right now is the electric humidor.
Okay.
So, just plug and play yun. I-season mo lang. Season meaning, papasip mo muna yung cedar.
Dun sa...
Kasi yung mga trays, may mga cedar trays sa loob yun eh. So, before putting in your cigars, you have to season it.
Okay.
Meaning, you have to have it sip muna ng moisture.
It takes about mga 5 days to 7 days.
10 to 14 days.
Wow, 10 to 14 days. Okay, before you can put in any cigar.
Yes.
Okay. And then, what's the temperature that's constant there? Where does it play? 17 to 20? Ganun?
Ang safe na temperature is around 17 to 21 degrees.
21 degrees Celsius. 17 to
Celsius.
21. Okay.
So,
parang
plus
wine
and
din, no?
minus na yun.
Kaya
Plus
pala
and
iba,
minus
nakahalo yung
na.
wine. Iba nilalagay
parang
nila
same
because there's
same
certain
storage
there's certain wines na yun yung requirement. Hanggang 17 lang. Okay. And then then you can put in your cigars there, mix it up. Okay lang ba naka-case?
Okay lang.
Okay lang.
Kahit nakatubo siya, yung katulad nun sa'yo, pag
naka-tube.
nakatubo, okay lang.
Okay lang yun. Okay. And then, alright, there's two kinds of cigars. Parang you mentioned to me about New World and Cuban. Because most people know about Cuban cigars. Why are Cubans so expensive? Why are Cuban cigars so expensive? Like Cohiba, for example.
Because of its rarity.
Okay.
Parang...
It's illegal in the States, right? Is it?
Ngayon, hindi na. You can bring home sa US.
Oo.
Pero...
Ano lang, pang PSG?
May number lang.
PSG nga.
lang.
PSG lang. Okay.
Parang siguro isang box hanggang 2 boxes, which is mga 50.
Hindi pwedeng crate na. So what's the difference between a Cuban and a New World?
Okay, bigay muna natin yung meaning sa kanila ng New World sa kanong.
What's a New World?
New World cigars are cigars made outside of Cuba.
Okay.
So pwede siyang kung dito sa atin,
name New World.
Nicaraguan
okay.
cigars, Honduran cigars, yung Herrera Esteli, Nicaraguan
nga ito nga.
Oo.
Okay.
May Dominican Republic.
Okay.
So yung dito, yung
same weather din yun sa Cuba, no?
Meron tayong
sa
mga
Philippines.
okay yung mga local
ano yung
cigars
dalawang
natin.
brand na sikat na matagal na sa Pilipinas na local?
Don Juan Orquijo.
Oo. And then
yung 1801.
And for super newbies na Tabacalera, it's one of the things I have as well.
New World yan.
New World yun. I have the 20th anniversary. I used that.
Good cigars.
Good cigars. These are Filipino cigars, as in 1800s pa. Diba? Late 1800s pa nagawa. So,
at saka yung
quality
seed,
rin siya.
Cuban seed yung ginagamit
Cuban seed yung ginagamit. It's just that it's grown here. And handmade here din yun, diba? Hindi pa rin siya machine, diba? I think.
I'm not sure with that.
They say that it's still handmade here in the Philippines. I don't know. I'm not sure about it. But there are a few good New World cigars here in the Philippines. So, I mean, if you're in a very, very tight budget, you could take a look at that as well and see if it's something for you.
Very good
Kasi
cigars.
I wouldn't suggest like going straight to a Cuban cigar that's worth, 4,000, 5,000 a pop.
Parang motor lang eh. Dapat doon ka muna sa
starter level.
200, 300 cc. Tapos go up
and then,
liter bikes.
Right. It's like, you're handed right away a Ferrari. Parang, and you don't know how to drive yet. So you start off maybe with the,
Hindi mo rin masyado may enjoy.
with the Toyota first, and then you start progressing and so on and so forth. So, get a feel of it, get a good feel of it, taste it first if it's something you enjoy or not. Kasi it's a niche. It's not really for everyone. And of course, you have to be about 21.
Yeah.
21 is the legal age, right? To buy, to purchase. So
Hindi
you
ba
have to.
18?
Is it 18? I don't know.
I'm not
Yeah, 18 nata. Cigarettes, di ba? Same as cigarettes, I think. Sa? Depende sa country. So I think in the Philippines it's 21.
21.
Yeah,
Okay.
21. Just to be safe. Okay. So New World is supposed to be cheaper than Cubans? Mostly.
Not all the time.
Not all the time. Okay. Can you show me examples ng, like for example, the cheapest one or the most affordable one that
Yung
you have?
favorite ko kasi sa mga below 500, below 400
Okay.
cigars is this is a Nicaraguan cigar.
What's it called? Last call din.
Last Call
Okay.
by AJ Fernandez.
Okay. This is what I
That's
have
the
to.
Habano.
Yung sa akin white and black yung wrapper.
Maduro yun.
Maduro.
That's the darker one.
Okay, mas dark to. Okay.
Mas light yan.
All right. Okay. So this is an example of, that's probably what, how much?
This
400?
is 390.
390. So this is probably the cheapest that you can get per piece. Mas mura pag
Pero
if you buy the
favorite ko
whole
to.
box, no?
Kaya ako nagki-carry nito.
Parate.
Nang madami.
Oo.
Kasi,
Mabilis maubos yan.
Mabilis mo. At saka, favorite ko to eh. So, parang, sa tingin ko, kung nagustuhan ko, magugustuhan din ng mga
Right.
customers.
Oo.
Which,
Okay.
okay naman.
Okay. So after that, what's a mid-tier, for example, after that na pwede mapakita?
This one is the aging room.
Okay.
Nicaraguan
At
cigar.
Nicaraguan din. Okay.
Cigar of the year 2019.
Okay,
naman
what
yan.
what do you taste here with this one?
May chocolate notes yan.
Is it medium? Medium to?
Medium to full.
Medium to full. Okay.
Best pair yan.
What
mga
size is
whiskey.
this? Parang torpedo yung shape ng dulo. Torpedo,
Torpedo
no?
siya.
Okay. And then, how much is this usually retail?
That one goes for 600.
600. Okay. So from
Tapos if you
390,
order per box, we still
mas
give
mura.
discounts.
Oh. Yeah, usually boxes are from 10, 20 to 25.
25, yes, right.
Sometimes may sampler ng mga 5, ganun.
Oo, meron din.
But usually it's between 10 to 20. Okay. And what's probably an expensive New World cigar?
The favorite ko, is the Padron and the T52.
Okay, that's a huge one. Okay.
This
let me
one's the
see.
double,
This is
T52
a fat
double
one.
Corona.
Okay, this is a fat one, guys.
And the Padron serie.
Ito mukhang dark to.
Okay yan.
Full to.
Medium to,
Medium
para
to full
sa
pa
akin,
rin.
medium to full siya.
And this is, what's the notes in this? What would you say?
Liga Privada.
Privada. Liga Privada. Okay. So this is about how much?
That's 1,450.
1,450. Okay.
Kasi
But this one is
malaki.
about, for me, it will take
3
3 hours
smoke
to.
yun.
Sabi ko 2.5, pero okay. For me, mga 3 hours to. Siguro by 2 hours, medyo hilo-hilo na ako nito. I'm not a heavy cigar smoker. I usually smoke cigar when I'm changing the water in my aquarium tank because it's a 400-gallon tank. So it takes me about an hour to remove and change the water. So tamang-tama sa akin mga 45-minute cigar. And then
Robusto.
probably, sometimes I have either a whiskey, a beer, or wine. Either of the three. Pag ayaw ko ng alcoholic beverage, pipili ako ng juice. Orange juice ginagamit
Orange
ko.
juice.
Yeah. And this one,
This
another
one's
example.
the Padron. Number
Padron.
90.
Packaging pa lang. Ganda na. Okay. Sometimes I'm also addicted to I'm a sucker for packaging. I mean, I'm all about branding, right? So, packaging, this one, top quality. How much is this?
That one's I think 1.9.
Okay. And it comes in a box of 20?
Box of 24.
24. Okay.
Yeah.
199?
1.9.
19. Okay. Okay. Sige. Alright. Now let's go to Cuban naman. What's probably the entry-level Cuban that I can go to? Starter pack.
Naubos sa starter pack.
Pero what would that be? Wala dyan. Okay.
Wala dito.
Pero what would you say is a starter pack for Cubans?
Well, ako kasi, ang pag gusto ko na medyo mild to medium, saka kung meron mga newbies na
Oo.
gusto ng Cubans.
Want to go straight to
you want
Cubans.
to try
Okay.
Cubans.
Right.
I go for the Monte Cristo.
Okay, I have that.
Oo.
Okay. The Monte Cristo. How much is the Monte Cristo?
This size, 1.7.
1.7. Okay. And then, what's the smallest one? That's a Cohiba eh. What do you
Oh,
call...
this one.
Parang cigarette siya, pero hindi, mas mataba pa rin. What do you call that size?
Exquisitos.
Ha?
Exquisitos.
Esquisitos. Okay. And this Cohiba, what's the name of it?
Cohiba Exquisitos.
Okay. And then, how much is that?
This one is 1.7.
1.7 din. See? Sa Cohiba. Ganong kalit lang yan. 1.7 yun. Okay. And what's another type of Cuban cigar that you have there? What's the other two?
This was the Partagas Serie P number 2.
Okay. And
Malaki na
malaki
big
na.
cigar.
How
din
much is
siya.
that one?
This one's 1.9.
Okay. And the other one,
This one's the edition limitada na Romeo Julieta.
Romeo Julieta. Sikat yan eh, no?
Oo.
I've seen those a lot in reviews. High ratings always. How much is that?
This one's 3.5.
3.5. Okay. And that one, the last one.
The Bolivar Exclusivo Portugal.
Okay. Oh, Portugal. Okay.
Portugal exclusive siya.
Portugal exclusive. Pero it's still made in Cuba.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
And
yes, yes.
that's how much?
This one's 4,000.
That's the most expensive one that I think that
Yeah.
we have here.
For
Okay.
now.
What makes it that expensive? I mean, you have a cigar para mga 6,000, di ba? May mga ganong kang klase.
Meron din.
Meron, pero
din.
madalas it's out of stock.
Nauubos eh.
Because merong buyers na pupunta doon,
Oo. Wala pa sa akin.
na-order na.
In-order.
Wala na, sold out na. So parating pa lang sa'yo galing Cuba, pagdating, in transit pa lang, wala na, sold out na. So when you go to this website, you usually see a lot of the items sold out na or naka-reserve na. Kasi nga, nagpapa-reserve na ng maaga yung mga hardcore collectors. Di ba? So, okay. We've shown New World, we've shown Cubans. Okay. What are accessories that you need when you have cigars? Besides,
Basic
of course,
lang, basic cutter and basic
That's it.
butane.
Butane.
Lighter.
Bilis sa maubos ang butane.
Yun nga.
When you have pakita mo yung lighter mo, like, mabilis maubos yan. That would light up mga 10? 10 cigars?
Oo.
No?
Ito soft flame kasi ito eh.
Oo.
Pero siguro if you're starting, mas okay yung torch.
Torch, yeah.
Sinasabi mo kanina.
Ako, ang dami ko ng torch kasi either naiiwan ko,
Yeah,
nawawala
soft-
ko.
soft flame
Ayan,
siya.
soft flame yan. Pero torch yan. See?
Hindi siya torch.
Ay, hindi pala
soft
torch.
flame
Soft flame
siya,
pala.
pero butane,
Oo.
butane
Pag torch
powered
kasi
siya.
nagbo-blue pala, sorry. Yeah. Meron ako yung torch na mura lang eh. Yung mga
Pwede.
200. Kasi yun yung mga tipong okay lang mawala. Kasi sakit mawala.
Basta
Pag
yung
yung mga
butane
mahal
kasi,
eh.
pagka yung normal na cricket na hindi butane, nagsisip
Oo,
dun sa
nalalasahan mo
cigar.
eh. Yeah, oo. And some people still prefer yung matchstick talaga. Nakita ko. Nagbabaan
Meron
sila.
din,
Oo.
meron din.
Pero hindi yung yung pangsindi ng kandila. Not that. May specific na...
Yung cedar
Cedar,
strips.
oo.
Yung iba yung match na mahaba.
Okay.
Yung match na mahaba.
Okay. So what do you think is one tip for someone who's a beginner in cigars? What would you tell them as, an advice?
Parang sa akin, just enjoy. Parang wag kang ma-confine sa, dapat ganito, dapat ganyan. Parang enjoy lang, relax lang.
There's a connotation, di ba, na, when you're smoking cigar, pang-mayaman lang yan eh. Is that true for you?
Hindi naman.
Hindi naman,
Hindi
diba?
naman.
I mean, you've seen local cigars go for like, 90 pesos a piece. Right? I mean, still more expensive than a cigarette. Like one stick na 10 pesos ata, 12, di ba? Mahal na nga rin I was floored nung nalaman ko yung isang tingi, pagbibili ka sa kanto, 10 to 15 pesos na isang cigarette. So, cigars also are expensive, but it's not as if, it's parang, wow, mayaman pag ganun. Yun yung parati kasi sinasabi na pag nag-cigar. No, it's not, right?
Hindi naman.
Okay. So, ikaw, what do you like the most about cigars?
Ako,
What's the number thing
at first,
yeah.
enjoy ako sa kanya pairing it with my favorite drink.
Yeah.
Usually yun, whiskey, beer. Pero as we go, parang 3 years, 3 years na rin ako sa business. ay more on the conversations.
Mm.
Parang yung pag nasa shop ako, sisigar
Oo
ako.
nga, di ba? When you,
Parang, parang okay siya na habang nakikipagkwentuhan ka.
it's a conversation starter and
Oo.
something that keeps the conversation going.
oo.
Kasi you have to finish it, so you relax, you're sitting
Oo,
down.
parang locked in kayo na,
Kaya
kung malaki yung cigar.
naka-Italian leather yung ano mo sa shop mo eh. I mean, we're not smoking here in the studio just because, fire hazard and bawal siya. Sa kanya kasi pwede. So if you go to his shop, schedule one, if you want to hang out there.
Pwede naman.
You can schedule a session there if you want to smoke a cigar here at 11 Brixton. Parang yung cigarettes kasi, you can chain smoke eh. Like, cigar ba? Is it something you can chain cigar?
Siguro, personality, for me kasi I have customers.
I've seen,
3
yeah.
cigars, 4 cigars sila a day.
Oo.
So, siguro yung tolerance mo na lang.
It depends siguro on the tolerance level, perhaps. It's not, depende na sa yan. But one thing's for sure, cigars are also addictive. I'm not telling people to go into this habit if, you don't have any vices like this. It's still a vice, right? But I'm not here to convince you to start smoking a cigar.
Meron niya akong client kanina, share ko lang. Sabay kami nagsisigar kanina. Parang sinasabi niya, ako nga, hinahanap, pero 90s pa lang nagsisigar na yun.
Right, oo.
Pero pag hinahanap niya na raw yung cigar, parang pag nagkikrave na siya, tinitigil niya.
Tinitigil niya, okay.
Kasi hindi na yun for pleasure eh.
Yeah, oo.
Parang na-addict ka na sa
Yeah,
nicotine.
iba yung ganun eh. Oo.
Oo. So parang ginagawa niya, pag na-feel niya na yun, tinitigil niya.
Oo.
Tapos siguro, tigil siya ng 1 week.
Right.
Tapos next week na siya uli magsisigar.
Yeah, just like anything too much is not good for you.
It's not good, yes.
Right? So this is something for enjoying and pleasure, relaxation, not something to, do every day or so if that's the case. So, kumaga, it's just like drinking, smoking moderation.
Oh.
Right? That's why we'll always advise. I mean, we're not gonna tell you to do it every day if you wanted to, but we're just sharing the like for beginners nga, like basics of it and like when you go to when you go to the cigar shop, you sit down there, you have good conversations with people, and that's a good way also to network din, to know more people, di ba? Kasi may makakausap ka na iba yung industry niya, makakausap mo, di ba? Kaya when I hang out in your humidor shop, ang dami ko nakikilala ng mga ibang tao na I wouldn't have met if we weren't smoking cigars, right? So it's a good conversation starter and a good way to connect to other people, I would say, right? So, kaya nga, there's siguro a connotation na siguro pang mayaman kasi it's because of business, right? It's because they're connected because of business. Kaya ako marami na akong narigaluhan ng cigars eh. Friends and business partners, I give them cigars as gifts. May tanong pala ako. Why do you think there are so much lesser na women na nagsisigar?
Siguro kasi medyo...
Is it masculine talaga?
Oo, parang gano'n.
Pero I've seen in Instagram...
Baka ma-quote tayo ng mga...
nga eh. I've seen in Instagram kasi, I've seen
pero marami,
women...
may mga nagre-review nga eh. Cigar Vixen, di ba?
Okay. Marami akong kilala ng mga babae na nagko-collect na cigar and
at saka may mga customers ako na...
May customers ka rin?
Either, dalawa yun eh. Either regaluhan nila yung asawa nila, boyfriend nila. O they're trying it out.
Okay.
Yun.
It's not gender-based. Okay, I would say it's not because you're a man or a woman.
Dapat hindi.
It's not based on gender or class or level. It's still for everyone, right? Just like any hobby there is out there. Okay. Anything to add with regard to this?
Kalimutan ko na may add dapat ako. Kalimutan ko eh. May sinabi ka eh. May gusto akong i-add eh.
Alin? About, okay lang. Napakita mo naman lahat ng klase ng cigars na eh. Right?
Oo.
Most, like some of the best ones. Like we wanted to categorize from light to medium to bold, and then from the cheapest one to the most expensive ones, difference of New World and Cubans, and the things that you need. So, I think that's the important things you need to know to start. Tsaka yung courtesy talaga eh. Like, You know,
Ito, naalala ko na.
ano?
Naalala ko na. When someone gives you a cigar,
Right.
dapat yun, yung courtesy mo, na, kung ikaw yung binigyan, you have to smoke it with
You have to smoke it
the
right
guy
away.
who gave it to you. Not unless sabihin niya na, itago
pang
mo yan
mamaya.
sa humidor mo.
Pa next.
Smoke mo pagka, ano.
So when he hands
Lalo na
it to
pag
you,
nagsisigar siya, tapos binigyan ka. Yung
like,
courtesy mo
yeah.
doon,
I remember like
sindihan mo.
si Dondi, when he gave me a cigar, a Cohiba cigar, we smoked it right away that day itself. Yeah. Because, he's celebrating something eh. So the guy was celebrating something, so...
Usually yan meron may special happening sa ano niya.
And one of the reasons I also keep Cubans, it's really for special occasions. When it's something for me to celebrate. It's like popping, a champagne.
Yeah.
Parang ganun for me.
Exactly.
So when I light up a Cuban, an expensive Cuban for me, it's like, I'm relaxing with something that, can make me feel good during that time. So, meron naman yung pang biglaan lang. Meron ganun. So, kaya I have different cigars in my collection in my house and here in the office as well. Okay. You good?
Good.
Okay. Well, that's it. That's all we have for today's the AA show, this episode 8, right? So if you have any comments, suggestions, feel free to leave it in the comment section down below. And we'll see you again in the next episode. Peace out.